Hello, Steve White, Trekboy89 for Steve Arts89. So, there are some rumours surrounding Star Trek and how it's going to go forward now that Skydance is basically buying Paramount. Now, I originally thought it was bad that Skydance was buying Paramount. I wanted someone else to buy it, like Sony or Warner Brothers, because I thought they would come in with new people and shake it up, because Skydance had worked with KurtzMan and Abrams. But apparently, the rumour is that they didn't like working with KurtzMan and they wanted to get rid of him. And Paramount wants to bring Star Trek back in-house and not have someone else in charge of it, not be having to pay someone to produce it for them and then have them do their version of it and their spin and them not be able to really control, what they're producing. Because he had a lot of free reign in his contract. He got a lot of, especially out of Leslie Moonves, when he was going out the door being accused of various things. He gave Kurtzman a real sweetheart deal as his last little slap in the face to Paramount on his way out. Or turkey slap on the way out to Paramount. So yeah, what they're talking about happening now is that all the shows that are in production now, like Strange New Worlds and Starfleet Academy, which is just going into production now. They've got the actors basically on set doing readings and stuff like that, and they're about to start filming. And I guess they're writing the new half-hour reality mockumentary sitcom Star Trek Riser. Basically, it's basically set on a pleasure planet sort of scenario, and people are assuming it's going to be Riser, but that would involve copyright and paying people out and stuff. So it probably will just be some generic planet. But that's unclear. But those shows will, in theory, continue on, and they'll be allowed to finish that, but they will have their own contracts. So what they're saying is going to happen, and there's a couple of people saying this on YouTube and that, is that basically they're going to be writing out contracts for each show now, and when that ends, that contract ends. Whereas before, Kurtzman had an overall contract to just produce anything he wanted with Star Trek and have free reign over it and be able to take it to other companies and shop it around. Like when Netflix wanted out of the deal, he went to Amazon to fund Picard and stuff like that. So he won't be able to do any of that anymore. That they'll be basically writing out contracts for the shows that are happening now, and they'll be sort of run their own course and be independent. And then when they end, they end. And then they'll be able to bring new people in to work on Star Trek, even while Kurtzman is still working on his Star Trek. So they can phase it out, and they can just bring people in per series, and just it's like they own Star Trek, they're making Star Trek in studio, and they're just hiring people to come in and work on one show or another show or one movie, and then they go away, and it goes back to being produced by Paramount, instead of giving the whole production to one person and then they just have free reign over it, sort of producing it in their own little bubble off to the side. So that's sort of what they're saying is going to happen. So yes, Strange New Worlds will continue, and I'm guessing it'll go to 5 seasons, and they'll try and act like that was what they decided, what they want to do with Discovery. Like, oh, we do 5 seasons instead of 7 now, when they actually got cancelled a year or two before they were expecting it. Strange New Worlds is definitely getting a 4th season. Well, I don't know, it depends. Paramount still has to pay for it, I think. But it's basically been greenlit. They're going ahead with a 4th season. They're planning a 4th season. They just finished filming the 3rd season. And it's going to air sometime, I think, early next year. I can't remember, or is it late this year? I don't know. But it looks like it's going to get at least 4 years. Can they fund a 5th season even with a contract if Paramount isn't interested in it? If it doesn't do well or they're not happy with it? I'm not sure. But in theory, they won't be able to shut Alex down on any of the shows he's got in production. Now, they might be able to stop the comedy actually getting made, but Starfleet Academy is happening. Strange New Worlds is going to continue, and the only good thing that might come out of this is if they do announce that after the Section 31 movie, and basically when they've got a gap in production, actually making Star Trek Legacy. The rumour is that they were going to announce it, they were always going to do it, but they were just waiting until they had time to actually produce it, and they wanted to wait until then, so they could focus on that and sort of focus on one show at a time. That's one of the rumours. So if that's the case, this might be a good thing, because we will still get Legacy and it will have its own contract regardless of what happens with Paramount and Paramount Plus and Skydance and all that. If they start it under KurtzMan's current contract, it will continue on for as long as I guess they want it to, or as long as it's viable or whatever. Because I guess Paramount has some say if they're paying for it. They'd have to find the funding themselves if Paramount didn't want to fund it, but then they want to keep making it. I guess it's a bit tricky, but that's the rumor. That's what people are saying now, that they'll be working on individual contracts for the shows that are in production now, and then after that, Paramount will be free to do whatever they want with whoever they want, and they won't be tied to Kurtzman and his production company. And that will be the best thing for Star Trek long term. But we'll see. It's just rumours at this point, and we won't know until they actually do what they do.